Um, welcome to the New Orleans TV Internetwork. I'm gonna cover up that ugly neck. Uh, I'm Bob Bockelman, the founder and host for most of our present program, new programmings. And wow, look at that background pop of a color. We'll talk about that in momentarily. As for those who've been following, this is series or episode number nine, just like a famous old rock and roll said, number nine of our PSAs, public service announcements, informing you, the public, and hopefully the would-be viewer, to understand and know about our existing programs when we launch our network, which is sporadic at this week, but very, very close. We'll talk about that at the end of the PSA. But we're trying to use these to give you a little more information if you're not familiar. For those who are not familiar, I started on a local cable channel in New Orleans. And that, by the way, that's where we emanate from. And we want to very importantly tell you we'll be live streaming as we are now. Well, live streaming, yes, as we are now on Facebook Live under my name, Bob Bockelman, Boeckelman, in the bottom left corner if you need to write it down during the PSA, or YouTube simultaneously under my channel R space REVUE, which we would beseech you to subscribe, and that way you can see us anytime you want. Facebook giving you just a mere 5-minute notification, uh, YouTube giving you at least a half an hour. But we will talk about our schedule and how we help to supplement that at the end of the PSA. Our premiere show and our production company, our premiere show was Restaurant Ant. And if you notice up in the right window, there's going to be at all of our shows our little brand. That was the original, and it's an ant with a red star. Being an analogy, hopefully that's the right English grammar term for red star being restaurant. Okay, red star ant. Anyway, it was okay in the beginning, but all of our subsequent shows included that particular ant, and the distinguishing situation was twofold. We went down to R Revue instead of Restaurant Revue as our parent name, because the first letter R is an abbreviation of what should be the title. And to distinguish it at that time, we would put a different item in the hand of the ant. Okay. The situation now with this new launch is I said, well, it's still going to look the same. So I had our artists come up with a great series of solid color, popping colors, background as we see such. Now, let me just show you how we distinguish. You can see that lovely abode over my corner. Nice size. Nice. But let's take a look at there's what the logo will look like. Okay. Again, we still have the brand in the left corner and it's naked B&W. But the logo for this show, and by the way, the name of this show is Realty, REALTY Revue. Why did you come up with that, Bob? But take a look. Isn't that striking? I love it. So dynamic. Anyway, back to let's do this. Let's talk for, that's not it. Let's see if I can disturb you with that's the wrong one too. That's the one. Diminish Bob and emphasize the logo. Very good. So, what do we want? The actual, the show, as we said, originated on not this one, but our show, earlier shows. This is a new creation on cable TV. So everything was restricted guests to New Orleans. Oh, so sorry. Probably I went live, and I'm probably gonna. Oh my goodness! Excuse that, please. And I don't edit anything out. That's why we do live. Sorry. As I mentioned, everything was originally on cable TV in New Orleans, so we were restricted to all of our shows being New Orleans related and guest wise. Went on to the internet for 2 years and actually created the television portion or instituted the television portion, bringing to life at that time 5 shows and creating one or two more for that audience. The big scope of the internet is that we now have a much larger audience and a much larger pool to draw from guests. So you will see guests from all around the world in their speciality. We don't want to give a list of all the shows because that's the whole idea. If you watch the first, well, even the first one doesn't, the general one doesn't give all the shows. But we're hoping you'll be curious enough and see these lineups that you'll investigate and find the ones that you're certainly already interested in and hopefully find new ones for you. Okay, now let's see. I have to follow this little ridiculous, but it's my memory banks. It's the memory's gone. Okay, we talked about the format is about the same with these shows. The live guest comes on, and he or she talk about themselves, a little bio, and then we actually go through on this particular show. We'll go through two things. Hopefully, a small slide presentation of digital pics of the a particular listing that they're interested in or actually selling at that time, and we'll get a picture of the exteriors, front and back, and a couple of the rooms. But either followed by or preceded by, the actual agent will do a live, while we're on their video tour of the establishment or the residence. We're only doing residential right now, so we'll move into commercial a little later. But he or she will do a max probably 5 minute at the most, couple of minute tour, walking through the building with his live camera. And that way you'll get a chance to even see it more detailed, the complete or the majority of the listing that we're presenting. After which, when we finish that, we will be coming back together to chit chat. The advantage of the internet over TV, and we have that advantage, is that today's world is a chat world or a comment world, a texting world, as opposed to a talking world. So any comments you would like to make or questions you'd like to ask, you can do that directly on the platform you're watching, whether it's Facebook or whether it's YouTube. And unfortunately, you don't see them all. I don't believe. I will see them all here. Ones that I think are interesting enough or catch my eye, we will go ahead and can bring it on the screen so you can see who it is that's asking the question and making sure the agent will answer or any questions, whether it's per the existing listing or about himself or herself, so you'll know how to get in touch with them. That'll be fun. We can allow callers too. When I say callers, you would be just like a guest. We have to send you a link. You have to use Facebook Messenger. So if you have some opposition philosophically to that, I understand. But later on down the road, we'll get a number for the typical old-time callers like me that use that thing called the phone for voice, not for texting. But now you can actually, if you wish, you can come on live. You will hear your voice. If you can, are you able to turn your camera off from your phone or wherever you're going to be doing this? Once you receive the link, you just click on that and you'll come up. If the camera's off, then we'll just hear you, which would be just like a caller. So, and again, I don't want to spend too much time on that because, again, most of the folks love to use the text, chat, or comments. All right, lastly, let's see. Oh, well, we're doing a real good job. No, wow. We have a few more minutes, though. Gee, maybe things will come to me. But let's talk about the schedule. As we mentioned, right now, because it's a fledgling network, we don't have a fixed schedule. However, we are targeting or directing our programs now for the time being to the evening, because that's where the largest audience is for people who work a typical day position. Not that there's anything wrong with night positions. The advantage of this, of course, is that we catch those in the evening if they're off. But because of the fabulous internet, especially YouTube, all of our shows will be archived there immediately, so you can watch it 24/7, any of these programs, any of our programs, day one on, at your convenience. In the interim, while we're still in as we start fixing, because what we'd like to do is fix the show, just like this is where we relate to TV. We'd like to have a particular show on a particular day at a particular time. So you can know, I want to see the house show, or I want to see the realty show. I want to see the green ant, that vibrant green ant, for whatever reasons. Then all you'll do is we will publish and promote a tentative schedule as we fix. This particular show, congratulations, has been fixed on the Tuesday evening of each month, starting next week or next month, February, when we target all the show. February, I keep saying it was the third or the fourth, the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock, if I've done that right, 5 o'clock, yes, Pacific, and 10 and a half hours ahead if you're in India, or 7 hours if you're in Europe, 20 something out, 23, 4 hours if you're in Australia, those areas. Anyway, we will publish also a little chart with times, general times in different countries, so you'll know when to catch some of these shows, or at least what is the time situation here where we're emanating from, so you can then find what's on at the particular time. So we're hoping that'll be a double help assist for you to be able to find by looking at those fixed schedules. So if you really want to see, interested in real estate, or just seeing some of the homes that'll be presented starting Tuesday, the first Tuesday of February at 7 o'clock, please tune in and you'll meet our first realtor. And he or she, which happens to be a she on the first one, will repeat on the first Tuesday of every month, and so forth. So we'll have we have three definite and hopefully four. So each week will be covered by a new but a separate an existing realtor who will come back to us every month on that particular day and time. All right. Now let's see. Okay, we still got a few minutes. I want to think we do anyway. Yes, we do. I know there was one more thing I wanted to talk about in format, but as usual, the old mind just can't remember anything. We do appreciate you, so we don't keep you too long. We do appreciate you checking. Oh, I know. The big surprise here. This is going to be the first time that we will have, now, not on the first episode on the first Tuesday in February, or probably not for a month. We're going to have a new element. So it's going to be like a duality show. And the second part of it will even be more interesting if we assemble the right number of guests of a whole different situation, but that relates to this particular residence that we're showing each week. There will be a competitive challenge, involving that specialty. Now, it's taking a little bit on the drawing board, trying to get, first of all, to get the talent, especially on a rotating basis. But even on get a rotating basis, we'll just use 3 individuals and do that each week. So stay tuned for that. There's a surprise. I don't want to leak it out because we never get the talent, the people we're looking for, then we can't do that aspect. And lastly on that is our typical solicitation. If you know any people that have, would you feel talent, have them contact us, because we have a lot of slots now of targeted shows, but we're also open and being creative all the time. We've created 3 more in the last week. So that's it. So we have approximately 12 shows now that have vehicles for special items or of interest, people who are talented as such. So don't forget, please contact me either email Bob, B-O-B, at rrevue.net.com. Bob at our brand, rrevue.net, or on Facebook, Bob Bockelman. Probably those are the easiest ones, especially if you use Facebook Messenger. Until the next time, we'll be moving on to the episode 10. Can you believe that? And I'm not gonna give it out, but stay tuned because it should be coming out very, very soon. We thank you for watching. We hope you'll continue and watch further program. Until such time, this is Bob, the old man, saying, stay tuned. See you soon. Bye.